Good morning, dear students. All of you, good morning. Welcome back to biology session. How are you all? Had your breakfast? Right. Welcome back situation. In previous session, we have discussed uh, developmental stages of female gametophyte. Okay, female gametophyte, also called embryo sac. The topic completed. Anyway, once I start from structure of embryo sac. All of you open notebooks. Embryo sac. Write subheading. Embryo sac. Embryo sac also called female gametophyte. Female gametophyte. Okay. Right. Embryo sac, female gametophyte. Once I draw rough diagram of embryo sac, all of you practice the same diagram. That is very important concept. That's why again I am drawing structure of embryo sac. Antipodal cells. There are 3 antipodal cells. Okay. Right here, antipodal cells. Antipodal cells. Next to polar nuclei. What is the number of polar nuclei? 2. There are 2 polar nuclei. 2 synergids. 2 synergids. And 1 egg cell. It is egg cell. Egg cell. Okay. Right. Central cell. Right over here. Central cell. Polar nuclei. Polar nuclei. Next, egg cell. Synergids. Right? It is egg apparatus, dear students. Look, observe carefully. The small finger-like structures are there now. That is egg. Sorry, filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus. Right? The combination of egg and 2 synergids. The combination of egg and 2 synergids combined to call egg apparatus. Egg apparatus. It includes 1 egg plus 2 synergids. That's it. Now, explain briefly about embryo sac. Embryo sac also called female gametophyte. Embryo sac has 7 cells. 7 cells and 8 nucleus. 8 nucleus. What are 7 cells? See, 3 antipodal cells. 1, 2, 3. 3 antipodal cells and 1 central cell. 1 central cell. 4. Next, 2 synergids 5, 6 and 1 egg 7. Total 7 cells. Once I repeat, 3 antipodal cells, 1 central cell, 1 egg cell and 2 synergids. 2 synergids. Altogether 7 cells are there. And what is the number of nucleus in embryo sac? 8 nucleus. Listen carefully, look there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. There are 8 nuclei in embryo sac. Nucleus singular form, nuclei is plural form. Okay, right. It is the important concept for NEET object exam. How they ask questions means, what is the total number of 7 cells, what is the total number of cells and nuclei in embryo sac? Answer, 7 cells and 8 nuclei. Okay. Egg apparatus. What is the meaning of egg apparatus? The combination of 1 egg cell and 2 synergids combined called egg apparatus. I am showing here, this entire setup is called egg apparatus. Okay, right. Filiform apparatus different. Filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus, it is present at the tip of the synergids. At the tip of the synergids. Filiform apparatus allow pollen tube into embryo sac. That is the function of filiform apparatus. Right? Now first all of you take one screenshot. Everyone take one screenshot. Do it fast. Over. Each and every student, my suggestion, take one screenshot. Yeah. Next to filiform apparatus. Right, subheading. Filiform apparatus. Very important. Filiform apparatus. Its function, important students. Its function, it allow pollen tube into embryo sac. It allows pollen tube into embryo sac. That's it. That is the function of filiform apparatus. Dear students, understood now? Okay. This is previous concept to embryo sac, its parts, what is the number of cells, what is the number of nuclei in embryo sac, the whole concept completed. Okay, right. Then go through next concept, topic continuation, pollination. Pollination. Right, subheading, all of you. Pollination. Pollination. As all of you know, pollination, you may heard the word pollination from class 7th onwards, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, 11th also. What is pollination? A process of, right over there, a process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. Anther to stigma is called pollination. Okay, right. This is called pollination. A process of transfer of pollen means pollen grains from where? From anther to stigma is called pollination. It is common process in all plants, particularly flowering plants. Okay, kinds of pollination. Kinds of pollination. Note down. Kinds of pollination. Yeah, broadly, pollination are of three kinds. Broadly, pollination are of three kinds. What are three kinds? The first one, autogamy. Autogamy. Auto means by self pollination. Self pollination. Okay, very easy concept. Self pollination is called autogamy. That means what? A process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower is called autogamy. Okay, it is common in bisexual flowers, mostly bisexual flowers. A process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of same flower is called autogamy. And go through simple diagrammatic representation. By seeing diagram, you yourself easily understand the concept. It is a plant twig. Leaves and all. Just rough diagram. Okay. It's flower. Flower. It is one plant twig. Another plant. Another plant. This rough diagram for your clear understands. Flower. Take an example, any flower, any plant, hibiscus, jasmine, mango tree, neem tree. If you want to take any tree, any plant, no problem. Okay. Pollen grains, stamen and all, everything. Yeah. Pollen, style, filament, anther, style and stigma, everything. Right. Autogamy. Autogamy means a process of transfer of pollen from anther to stigma. Anther to stigma in a single flower is called autogamy. However, next, second one, geitonogamy, important. Write down. Geitonogamy. What is geitonogamy? A process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. Anther to stigma of two different flowers of same plant. That is called geitonogamy. Very simple definition. Very simple definition. Write on board. You also note down. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma, anther to stigma of two different flowers, of same plant. That's it. That is called geitonogamy. See, I am showing here through neat label diagram a process of transfer of pollen from anther to stigma of two different flowers of same plant. That is called geitonogamy. Okay. Therefore, geitonogamy is ecologically cross-pollination. Ecologically cross-pollination, but genetically self-pollination. Write the statement. Geitonogamy is ecologically cross-pollination, but genetically self-pollination. That's all. It is a very important statement. My dear students, remember, don't forget. Once I repeat, geitonogamy is ecologically cross-pollination. But genetically self-pollination. That means what? If transfer of pollen grains takes place from anther to stigma of two different flowers of same plant. So it looks like movement of pollen grain takes place from one flower to another flower. Therefore, it looks like cross-pollination, but it is not a true cross-pollination. Genetically self-pollination, because single plant produce many flowers, 2 flowers, 5 flowers, 10 flowers, more than 10, etc. In such cases, what happened? Transfer of pollen grains takes place from anther to stigma of two different flowers of same individual, same plant. Hence, it is called geitonogamy. Very, very important. Okay. Next, third one, xenogamy. Xenogamy is completely cross-pollination. 100% cross-pollination. It is purely cross-pollination, dear students. What is cross-pollination? Again, go through diagram. There are two plants of same species. Suppose it is jasmine plant. An example, jasmine plant. There are two jasmine plants. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of two different plants of same species. Hibiscus to hibiscus, mango to mango, datura to datura. That is called cross-pollination, also called xenogamy. Understood? Xenogamy. Okay? Very easy concept. No confusion. Right? Okay. Right here one sentence. Transfer of pollen. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma stigma of two different flowers of two different plants of same species. That is called xenogamy. Very easy concept. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of two different flowers of two different plants of same species. That is important. Mango to mango. Mango to mango. Hibiscus to hibiscus. Datura to datura. That is called xenogamy. That's all. Understood now. Next concept, agents of pollination. Before that, all of you take one screenshot. Both geitonogamy and xenogamy. Read fast. Geitonogamy and xenogamy notes. Take one screenshot. Over. Right. Next, agents of pollination. Agents. Right. Subheading. Dear students. Agents of pollination. Agents of pollination. Broadly, agents are of two kinds. First, what is agent? Agent means carrier or vector, which helps in transfer of pollen from anther to stigma, called agents. Agents broadly are of two kinds. Abiotic agents. And biotic agents. Abiotic agents, biotic agents. Abiotic agents again are of two kinds: wind and water. Okay, understood. What we discuss about wind. Wind means air. Pollination occurred by wind is called wind pollination. Wind pollination example. Right, subheading. Wind pollination. Examples: grasses, grass plants, and gymnosperms. Okay, gymnosperm, right? Because gymnosperms are non-flowering plants, no flower, only grasses. Here you must know what are the characteristic features of flower in grasses. What are the characteristic features of flower in grass plants? Flower character. Right, subheading. Flower characters. In wind pollinated plants. Flower characters in wind pollinated plants. First character, flowers are colorless. colorless flower. Next, small in size. All flowers are small in size. Small in size. Third character, nectarless. Nectarless, no nectar. Nectar means nothing but honey. Clear? Nectar means honey. So flowers are colorless, very small in size, nectarless, large number of flowers. Large number of flowers cluster into group. Cluster into group. Okay. That is called inflorescence. 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 These are the flower characteristics in wind pollinated flowers. Example, grasses. In grass plants, the size of the flower is very small in size. Very small in size. Flowers are colorless, nectarless, no nectar, no honey. Therefore, no insect visit grass plants. Then what is alternate source? Only wind or water. Mostly wind. Okay. Next, large number of flowers. Cluster means group. Group into cluster into group, that is inflorescence. That is called inflorescence. You know, in previous year, first year in morphology, you might have studied inflorescence and types of inflorescence. Okay, racemose inflorescence, cymose inflorescence, etc. Inflorescence means a group of flowers. A group of flowers. These are the general characteristic features of wind pollinated flowers. Understood that? These concepts, these points, very important for NEET objective exam and set exam. Dear students, understood? Yes. Now all of you take one screenshot. Do it fast. All of you take one screenshot. Then our right. In abiotic agents, wind pollination completed. Next to water pollination. Water pollination. Right, submitting water pollination or pollination by water, both are same. Pollination by water. It is again are of two kinds, epihydrophilic, epihydrophilic and hypohydrophilic. Hypohydrophilic. Epihydrophilic, hypohydrophilic. Epi means in topmost layer of water, then it is known as epihydrophilic. Pollination takes place in water surface. Okay, water surface. Best example, Vallisneria. Vallisneria, note down. Vallisneria. Dioecious plant. That is what? Unisexual plant. Male Vallisneria different, female Vallisneria different. Okay. So I can draw simple diagram of Vallisneria. This is a male plant. An example. Male Vallisneria plant. Spadix. This is spadix. Spadix means cluster of inflorescence. Inflorescence. Male flower. Male flower. Male Vallisneria. Male plant. Next, female plant. Female Vallisneria. It is one of the monocot plant, grass plant, living in water. Living in water. Okay. Stalk of the flower. Stalk of the flower. Female plant. This is female flower. Female flower. Stalk, flower stalk. Flower stalk. Okay, right. Female plant. Note down, female. That's it. Male Vallisneria, female Vallisneria. Male Vallisneria release male flowers. It release male flowers into surrounding stream of water. Surrounding stream of water. Therefore, pollen grains transfer to female flower. Pollen grains are transferred to female flower and enter into female flower. That is called epihydrophily. Epihydrophily means pollination takes place in top side of the water, topmost layer of the water. Best example, Vallisneria. Vallisneria, a dioecious plant. Dioecious means unisexual. Unisexual plant. Clear? Unisexual plant. Male Vallisneria plant different, female plant different. Male Vallisneria plant release male flowers into surrounding stream of water. Through stream of water, pollen grains transfer to female flower and enter into female flower, settle on the stigma, germinate on the stigma, develop pollen tip into stigma. Okay. If you observe clearly, female flower has long spring-like stalk. It has long, highly coiled spring-like stalk. That is called flower stalk. Flower stalk. After pollination, flower stalk pull flower into mid-water. Then fertilization, fruit formation, seed formation, everything takes place in mid-water. Everything takes place in mid-water. Understood now? Water. Water plant, na? Aquatic plant. That's it. That is called epihydrophily. Okay. Next, hypohydrophily. Second type, hypohydrophily. Hypohydrophily. Hypohydrophily example. Right, subheading. Hypohydrophily. The best example, Zostera marina. Zostera. Note down. Zostera marina. Zostera plant. It is living in marine water, salt water like seas and oceans. In Zostera marina, pollination, fertilization, fruit formation, everything takes place in water. Everything takes place in Mid-water. Mid-water. Okay, mid-water. Look here. Pollination, fertilization, fruit formation, everything takes place in mid-water. Hence, it is called hypohydrophily. Hypohydrophily. Example, Zostera verena. Right? Now, all of you take one screenshot of this page. This page, all of you take one screenshot clearly. Read fast. Last 1 minute, only 1 minute. Speed up, speed up. Then, next page. Take a screenshot. Next, biotic agents. Complete it up. Then go with the last topic, biotic agents. Abiotic agents completed. Next, biotic agents. Biotic agents. Biotic agents are of various kinds. Suppose by insects. By insects, that is called entomophily. 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 By bat, because when pollination done by bat, then it is called chiropterophily. Note down. Chiropterophily. Okay. Next, by butterfly. When pollination done by butterfly, then it is called psychophily. Psychophily. Okay. Psychophily. Next, when pollination done by snake, then it is called ophiophily. Very important concepts. Ophiophily. Ophiophily. Then, next, by birds. When pollination takes place by birds, then it is called ornithophily. Note down. Ornithophily. Ornithophily. Okay. Ornithophily. Yeah. When one more some other examples by snails. When pollination takes place by snails, then it is called melacophily. 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 Okay. And last one, ants. By ants. When pollination takes place by ant, it is called myrmecophily. Myrmecophily. Okay, students. See, first two, insects. When pollination done by insects, that is called entomophily. Very important concept. By bat, then it is called chiropterophily. Bat. When pollination takes place by butterfly, then it is called psychophily. Psychophily. By snake, ophiophily. By bird, ornithophily. By snail, then it is called melacophily. Melaco means snail. By ants, then it is called myrmecophily, because some ants, black color ants or red color ants, walk on plants. Indirectly, unexpectedly, sometimes pollination done by ants. These are the different types of biotic agents, my dear students. Biotic agents. Understood now? In the last 30 seconds, only 30 seconds. Dioecious plants, monoecious plants. Dioecious plants and monoecious plants. Dioecious means unisexual plant. You know very well. Dioecious plants prevent both autogamy, and geitonogamy. Okay, na? Understood? Geitonogamy is not written properly. Okay, autogamy and geitonogamy. Whereas monoecious plants prevent only autogamy, but not geitonogamy and xenogamy. Geitonogamy and xenogamy. That's it. Okay. Very important. Dioecious plants prevent both orthogamy and geitonogamy, whereas monoecious prevents only orthogamy, but not geitonogamy and xenogamy. Right, that's all. Should I stop here? Rest of the part I will continue next session. Dear students, all of you take one screenshot. Read fast. Speed up. Our right time also completed. Okay, right? All the best. Have a nice day. Prepare well.